I'll be talking about retouching this image that I've got here. So this image was shot with a Beauty Dish high camera right, and we had quite a big fan low camera left, which was actually making the hair go all over the place, which is the kind of look that we wanted for this image. Um, But if we look at the original, if I take the background layer here, make a duplicate, and move it up. Now, you can see I've done a fair bit of skin retouching on this image. Also, given the intensity of the fan and how powerful it was making the hair fly all over the place. You can see a bit of the skin underneath here, which I've touched up and cloned in the background image, in the background copy that we've got here. What I'll do is I'll go through each one of these layers so you can actually see what's going on. So firstly, I've taken the background image, I've copied it, and I've done frequency separation. And I've worked on each one of these images, so low frequency images, which work on the actual tones of the image. And then, so this is the low frequency image on which I've smoothed out some of the light tones, the highlights and the shadow areas, making them sit a bit better, blend a bit better. And then we've got the high frequency layer, and on this I've worked on the skin detail, the actual pores of the skin. And on top of that, I've done all of my cloning, getting rid of the stray hair up top here and over here as well. I haven't gone overboard with it, so I've tried to keep it natural. So I haven't gone and cloned out every single crosshair that I could find, because I do want to keep it natural. Again, just smoothing out some of the skin again, some dodging and burning here taking place. This is a non-destructive workflow, so at any point I can switch back to or revert back to the original image. Next, I've got a curves layer, and what this is doing, if I just bring this up, is it's actually lifting up some of the midtones and highlights slightly. So in the layer below, what I've done is I've done some dodging and burning, which is localized, and then I'm doing a global lift here, which is lifting all the shadows, all the midtones and all a bit of the highlights as well. And I like to separate the curves. I think it's a really powerful tool, the curves adjustment layer, because it goes back to how we used to process film, and you can work on all the channels together, or you can work on specific channels. So in the second curves layer, what I've done is I've actually applied a bit of grading, and you have to be very subtle with the grade that you're applying, because what you're doing is you're detracting from reality. You don't see images with the grade being applied when you're looking at the world with your own two eyes. So you have to be very careful if you want to keep it realistic how you apply the grade. So in this case, what I've done is I've just gone to the blue channel and I've pulled the blues down in the midtones and highlights ever so slightly, so that this image, which had a bit of a purple shade to it, is now reduced, and you can see a lot more yellows and a lot more reds coming through. And that's all you need. You have to think about images very carefully and the kind of treatment you want to apply to those images. You don't want to be too heavy-handed. You don't want to go overboard with the kind of treatment that you're applying. So again, if we compare the original image with the one that's processed, you can see there is a fair bit of skin retouching here, but it looks natural and it works, and it still is believable in terms of looking realistic.